Okay, we should be live. We are live, and who is writing to Larry this week for me? Who's going to write to Larry? I'm not giving up on that campaign. I want everybody to read the comic book and write to Larry. We're a few minutes late. Hello, James Davis. Just as I was trying to start the live stream, Windows decided it absolutely had to run some updates, so I'm like 10 minutes late. So I owe you guys an extra 10 minutes. Hello, Michael Bassett. Nice to see you. Hey, Chris. How do you do? All right. I think we're in business now. I think we are operating. Hi, John Ulrich and Sparkster. Nice to see you. James, hello, Green Yeti. Nice to see you as well. Hey, there's Brandon Knight. Haven't seen Brandon Knight in a little while. Nice to see you there. Weems Wallace and Cobra Viper, Yorktown Joe. Paul. Hey, the gang's all here. EVGMZ, Evigums, and Armor Magnus. Nice to see you, Armor Magnus. Action Figure Expert. Hey, Robert Olson. How's everybody doing? I'm doing well, for the most part. All right, I'm not going to lie. I'm really tired. It's been a very, very busy week at work, and I'm also trying to keep up with my Cobra convergence stuff, of which there is much. Hi, Mark Hoke. Yeah, nice to see everyone here. So I thought we would chat here for a little while, but later in the live stream, I thought maybe we would do another Find Your Fate book. That's usually fun, yeah. And I don't think we've done this one before, Operation Thunderbolt. So I thought this might be a fun one to do. So maybe about halfway through the show, we'll read a book together. Michael Bassett says, a question: if I have the opportunity to purchase a Crusader, $275 too much for one complete, just filthy and no box. If it's complete, well, okay. I don't know if I should give advice on the Persuader because I haven't been actively pricing the Persuader, so I don't know exactly, and I don't want to give you any bad advice on that. Hello, Moriarty. John's packing up his Joe collection. Hey, the Skull Review. Speaking of Cobra Convergence, there's a Cobra Convergence participant there with the Skull Reviews. How you doing? Hey, Painted Plastic. Master Vehicle Customizer. Beta Ray Bob. So yeah, I don't think we've read Operation Thunderbolt. So if you stick around for the last half of the live stream, we'll jump into this. It should be fun. Hello, Rodimus. Hi, Matt Rubin. Moriarty had all 20 of the Find Your Fates, passed them on to nephew. I hope he enjoyed them. Hi, Boyle Pop. Yeah, Michael, it's definitely easier than the Defiant. And at some point, of course, I'll have to track down the Crusader, but I have not been hunting the Crusader yet. Windows 10 is part of Cobra. Yeah, it was quite frustrating. It's like, all right, now we have to do updates. Is that really the way it's got to be? So anyway, but we're here. We're here now, and I'll keep going until about 10 after 8, because I owe you guys the extra 10 minutes. John says, Yeti, I used to blow up Joe's every July, so don't feel bad. Yeah, don't worry too much about that. You know, I think people might have a legitimate grievance if you were, like, blowing up Stardusters or Goldhead Steel Brigades, but for those of you that don't know, Green Yeti had a little bit of fireworks fun with a Cobra Law Royal Guard. And a few people complained, but honestly, the Royal Guard is a super common figure, and there's really no harm in it, I don't think. Let's see, landowner says, can I send you pictures for Cobra Convergence, or is it links only? I've had a few people send pictures, so you can send pictures. If you want it linked to some account, though, you have to tell me, how you want me to credit it. Do you want it to be credited to like an Instagram account or something like that? It's up to you, but you can send pictures, attachments if you want to. That works too. Chris used to shoot him with his BB gun. Yeah, thanks. These are these Joe cups that Walmart used to have. This one obviously has been used quite a bit, but I actually have one that I'm not using just so I can keep it in nice condition. Even though it's just a plastic cup, it's still it's it's actual G.I. Joe merchandise. So I was happy to get it a few years ago. This one, however, is one for use. Beta Ray Bob points out the bad current news about the Snake Eyes movie. So let's go ahead and talk about that. That's a good thing to start with. So the Snake Eyes movie has a delay because the director is on another project, and he is apparently not going to finish that project in time to start on G.I. Joe. Now, Hasbro and Paramount have said they have a contingency plan. I don't know what that is, but to my knowledge, they're still planning on a Snake Eyes movie being released next year. So, Mark says got a good combo going, live stream and a pizza. Good combination. I actually just had some pizza before starting the live stream, so good combination, Mark. All right, here are my thoughts about the Snake Eyes movie. I believe there will be a Snake Eyes movie. I think Hasbro will do it, mainly because I think Hasbro has to do it, because I think Hasbro is, I don't want to say desperate, but they're in a position where they really need to figure out ways to monetize all of these properties they have. And they've been doing all right with Transformers, but, the era of plastic toys is rapidly dying. So if Hasbro is going to continue to exist, and stay in business in the form that it currently is, it's got to find other ways to make money with all of this stuff that it owns. And Hasbro owns some amazingly valuable properties, including G.I. Joe, Transformers, My Little Pony. It's got some of the biggest money makers in history. But, producing plastic toys for kids is not as lucrative as it once was. So, I think Hasbro kind of needs not just the Snake Eyes movie, but additional Transformers movies, and I don't know if they've talked about like Micronauts and all of these others. I think Hasbro kind of needs those things to happen. So I think Hasbro is going to make sure they happen. Whether they are good or not, it remains to be seen. I liked the Bumblebee movie. I thought the Bumblebee movie was good. I would hope that a Snake Eyes movie would be good. But in their push to get things out so they can start making money on some of these properties, will they sacrifice quality? Will they? I don't know. It remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. So, yeah, I think that they will do something to. I think the Snake Eyes movie will happen, but I don't know what it will look like at this point. It's all up in the air as to what this movie looks like. The Skull Reviews asks if I'll ever dive into 12-inch Joe reviews in the future. Are there any that you like? I don't know is the answer. I might cover a little bit because people have been asking about the Hall of Fame figures. So, I see the Hall of Fame figures around. It would be pretty easy to pick up a few of them and review them. But I don't actively collect 12-inch figures. So I couldn't do it on a regular basis. It would just be a special thing. Green Yeti, are you listening? Or are you in the live chat? Looking for Green Yeti, please. All right, let me see. I'll do it. Yeah, Green Yeti, could you kick and ban Albert Menendez, please? I need you to use your admin powers. Anyway, moving on. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, so it would just have to be a special review of 12-inch. 12-inch does interest me, especially the older ones. I mean, I see 60s and 70s 12-inch figures all the time. I'm always tempted to get them because I'm interested in the history of the toy line. So it's not something I would rule out, but it would be a special review. It probably wouldn't be an ongoing series. The Australian guy has wonderful full-sized action Joes. Are you talking about Analog Toys? Is that the guy you're talking about? Analog Toys does a great job with the 12-inch figures, as does the Skull Reviews, by the way. Don't forget the Skull Reviews will also be in Cobra Convergence, so if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the Skull Reviews. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Tony's channel. Analog Toys they do a great job. They do a great job. Those videos are just fun to watch. I just enjoy watching them. The kind of videos that you can watch even if you don't have a special interest in the subject matter, because he'll make it interesting. So that's, Analog Toys, I am a big fan. And very grateful that Tony decided to jump into Cobra Convergence this year. Really awesome of him to do that. And I hope everyone is enjoying the event so far. We're trying to bring you a lot this year, and everybody has really worked hard. I can tell you from seeing it behind the scenes that everybody has really put their best effort into bringing you the best content we can every day. So I was just actually going to go down a list of everyone we've seen so far. It kicked off with Timmer on Half the Battle, and then we had Joe Motion Videos 82. That's Byron. Unfortunately, Byron doesn't seem to be in the chat today, but we miss you, Byron. We had Analog Toys and the Full Force Podcast and G.I. Joeberg and Form BX257 and me. and SEO toy reviews. And today we got our first blog in Cobra Convergence with Forgotten Figures. So make sure you check out the Forgotten Figures blog. If you ever wonder what is up for today, just go to the website HCC788.com, and today's current content is right there on top. So check out the Forgotten Figures blog. He's up today. Hey, Leah is here. She says it's always the week of the fallen, as we have a habit of tying the broken Joes to large bottle rockets for the 4th of July. Some had parachutes, some did not. Yes, some gave all. Hey, there's Human Mechanism. See, we got your Cobra Convergence representation in here. The Human Mechanism, speaking of which, is coming up on July 19th. And the Skull Reviews, who is in here as well, is coming up on July 18th. So we've got July 18th and we've got July 19th right here on the live stream in the chat. So there you go. Hello, JD King WWE. What's new with Rapping Major Blood? I don't know what's new with him, but I did actually see that guy and meet him in person at Joe Fest. My goodness, lots of people were at Joe Fest. I did see that Comic Tropes had a live drawing, but unfortunately I was busy at the time and I wasn't able to catch it, so I want to go back and watch it. So yes, Comic Tropes, speaking of Comic Tropes is coming up on July 21st. July 21st. I have the calendar right here. We started a little bit late. We're getting close to the middle of the live stream, and I would like to remind everyone that halfway through we will be reading a book together. So this is fun, right? This is fun. You know, this is what the kids are doing. The kids like reading, right? Oh, Green Yeti, Rapping Major Blood was in some of the fan videos from last year. You can't miss them. Brandon says G.I. Joe needs to make retro toys like Star Wars, Transformers, and He-Man. I know some folks would buy them. I'm wondering, though, if, because G.I. Joe was O-ring, if they're just, more expensive to produce. Although they couldn't be more expensive than Transformers. Those have lots of moving parts to them. Sean says Range Viper for CCIV and Bat. No spoilers, no spoilers. Updated vintage style, updated art, articulation. It's a new trend. It's sweeping the nation. How many of those Find Your Fate books are in the set? I think there were 20 of them. Let's see. Is there a list? Let's see. That's not a full list. I mean, there's a partial list here. This is book number 14. But I think there were at least 20 of them. I think. But anyway, yeah, these are usually fun. So we'll give that a try. Oh yeah, most of the release of Transformers are the mini cars, not that many parts. So, I mean, maybe it's not that expensive to produce the small Transformers. But producing O-ring style Joes might just be more expensive. Of course, they've done it before, right? Before the new sculpt era, before the modern articulation, they were re-releasing O-ring figures. And I do have a few of those, and I've got to say, the they cut some they cut some corners on the quality. They cut some costs a little bit, and some of those reissued O-ring figures, not all of them, but some of them were not of the highest quality. So, I don't know. Somebody find a video of wrapping Major Blood and send it to Green Yeti. You know, the O-rings do have large heads. That was intentional. 7 heads tall instead of 7.5 and 8 heads tall. Yeah, the vintage O-ring figures are a bit out of proportion. The modern figures are a bit out of proportion too, but just kind of in a different way. Comic Trope says, "What is Black Major?" You're either referring to one of the bad guys in Action Force or the guy who produces a lot of reproduction G.I. Joe figures. Yes, Red Laser also produces some reproductions. So, yeah. Black Major is a repro figure maker. Hey, Delvis, nice to see you. And Rezakai, how about that? Nice to see some familiar names in here. Okay, so it's about halfway through. Did I get stuff? I have gotten stuff, but right now, it is time for Find Your Fate. Okay, and now we're going to get one shot at this, no do-overs. No do-overs. If we die, then it's over. All right? If we die in 5 minutes, then we're just going to have to sit in silence for the rest of the show because we're dead. Oh, Troy got the hammer. Awesome, Troy. And thanks for playing the game. Armor Magnus asks how Black Major can reproduce the figures and not violate copyright law. Well, he can't, is the short answer. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready for the book? Okay? Are we ready for the book? Alec Tuttle says page 8. Hold on. There's no voting yet. Settle down now. Okay. Ready? We're going to start with page 1. All right. Okay. Everybody's ready, right? Okay. All right. If page 8 is an option, Alec Tuttles is in for page 8. All right. Starting at page 1. Hey, everybody. I'm sorry. Hey, somebody should teach these guys to play football, yells Leatherneck. Don't they know this is the Super Bowl? Oh, they're watching the Super Bowl. The recreation room aboard the USS Flag buzzes with football talk as the men watch the big game being televised from New Orleans. The Super Bowl is about the most exciting thing that's happened since you came aboard the giant G.I. Joe aircraft carrier as a member of the Joe team. Bet you next week's salary that your team doesn't score again, Shipwreck goads Leatherneck. You're on, seaweed breath, growls Leatherneck. Get ready. Get your wallet ready. Suddenly, all eyes are riveted on the TV set. A huge bolt of lightning has struck the 50-yard line, hurling the players to the ground. In seconds, the electricity crackles along the electric wires around the stadium. The screams of the panicked crowd are heard over the air as the sportscaster nervously describes the scene. A strange bolt of electricity is traveling through the stand. Kaboom! There's a huge explosion when your TV set goes black. What's going on? I don't remember that in the Super Bowl. What year would this have been? 86? I don't remember that happening in the '86 Super Bowl. Somebody look up who played in the Super Bowl in 1986. I'm pretty sure this is '86. So it would have been like January of '86. Oh, no, strike that, '87. So somebody Google who played in the Super Bowl in '87. So we go to page 2. Suddenly, the PA system of the rec room crackles with a message from Duke. All personnel with X-15 military clearance report to the briefing room. Situation critical. You, Shipwreck, and Leatherneck run toward the briefing room. Never a dull moment around here, Shipwreck mutters. When you reach the briefing room, Hawk, the G.I. Joe commander, has already begun his briefing. He interrupts himself to introduce you to the members of the squad. Duke, the G.I. Joe team's top sergeant, Roadblock, a heavy weapons specialist, Rakondo, a jungle infantryman, Lowlight, a night spotter, Cutter, operator of the hovercraft, Deep Six, a diver, and of course, you already know Shipwreck and Leatherneck. Men, Hawk says, turning to you, I'd like to introduce the newest member of our team. This is Zapper, a whiz with electronics. So that's our code name. Oh, is the Broncos and the Giants. There you go. So I wonder who was winning when the lightning bolt struck the 50-yard line. So that's our code name for this book. Our code name is Zapper. Not Zap. Zapper. Not the Clapper. Zapper. Introductions completed. Hawk turns to a large map of the United States. Using a heavy marker, he circles some major cities around the country. Fantastic, Leatherneck whispers to you sarcastically. Just what I wanted, a geography lesson. You give him a half-hearted grin. You've noticed that Hawk has just circled the city of New Orleans. New Orleans! Where the Super Bowl is allegedly played. We have a very important mission here, Hawk explains. The areas I've circled represent strategic locations that some... Oh, yeah, we're doing it right. We haven't had any choices yet. No choices yet. We have a very important mission here, Hawk explains. The areas I've circled represent strategic locations that have somehow been hit by a gleaming flash of light from the sky, resembling a bolt of lightning which caused an explosion. As the other members of the G.I. Joe team stir, Hawk continues. According to intelligence, we were able to detect the last strike. The one that hit New Orleans came from one of the biggest communications satellites. So, I mean, that would have killed everybody on the field. I mean, come on. I do not recall an NFL Films special stating that John Elway was killed with a giant bolt of lightning in the Super Bowl. Hold on, in New Orleans, that's a dome. It's not an open stadium in New Orleans. How did the lightning bolt get down through the ceiling to the 50-yard line? Okay. All right. Guys, this book may not be 100% realistic. Okay. I hope I haven't lost you here. Please try to suspend your disbelief a little bit longer. We haven't even got to our first choice. All right. Hey, that's probably what knocked out the Super Bowl, Leatherneck shouts. Somehow it knocked out the Super Bowl. Well, what do you know, Hawk offers. There is a brain hiding in all that muscle. Hawk waits for the laughter to die down. Oh, yeah, that was just hysterical. Before he continues with the briefing. Fortunately, we were able to pinpoint the satellite's last position. It seems that it was given its command from an oil rig offshore from a suspected Cobra base. Hawk shuts the light off, lowers the screen, and begins showing slides of the oil rig from different angles. We sent a small recon patrol to the rig, he continues, and they discovered sophisticated electronic systems housed on it. It's possible that those systems are capable of controlling our communication satellites. If so, Cobra can attack anywhere in the world. Turn to page 4. Okay, at the bottom of page 4, we finally get a choice. Here we go. Let's go in and blow that rig sky high, shouts Roadblock. I have a better idea, Hawk announces. I've decided on a two-pronged attack. The first part of my plan involves searching out Cobra headquarters near the rig. We think there's a base of operations other than the rig, and, Duke, I want you to lead a team inland through the jungle to find it. Take Lowlight, Roadblock, and Leatherneck with you. The second part of my plan calls for infiltrating the rig. I want to make sure that its operations are shut down, and no harm can come to our satellites or any cities before we take out that rig. Cutter, Deep Six, Recondo, and Shipwreck, I want you to form the team that heads for the rig. What do you think Cobra is trying to do, you ask? My hunch is that they are testing out some new system when they've perfected it, Cobra will try for global domination. They always do. Yeah, they always do. Well, it's our job to stop them, you shout. Then you realize you haven't been given an assignment. Where should I go, sir, you ask. Your know-how will be useful on either mission, Hawk answers. Got a preference? Ooh, okay. We get to choose which mission we go on. We get to choose which mission we go on. The choices are, we can either go on Duke, go with Duke on the jungle assault, or infiltrate the oil rig. So, if you want the jungle assault with Duke, choose page 10. If you want the oil rig, choose page 21. So 10 for the jungle assault. Just type your choices there in the live chat. 10 for the jungle assault, 21 for the oil rig. 10 for the jungle assault, 21 for the oil rig. We're pretty evenly split. 21 is starting to pull ahead. Still pretty evenly split. Ooh, that's going to be close. Man, I can't tell which one is winning. I think 21 wins by a narrow margin. So we're going to go. We're going to infiltrate the oil rig. Sorry, 10s. We're going with the oil. Man, and we got a whole bunch more 10s. Okay, now, to be fair, with the last couple 10s that came in, I think that pushed 10 over the edge. So sorry, 21s. I'm going to go with 10, okay? So we're going to go on the jungle assault with Duke. Lots of Duke fans, I guess. All right, page 10. 10. Here we go. Being from Nebraska, apparently Zapper is from Nebraska. You never feel too comfortable on water. You decide you'd be happy to get off the flag and go onto dry land, so you volunteer to join Duke's jungle hunt team. Dressed in your flight suit, you climb onto the deck of the flag. Maintenance crews bustle about getting the G.I. Joe Sky Strikers ready for launch. You walk over to Duke, who is giving assignments to the other members of the team. Zapper, Duke says as he turns to you, I'm teaming you up with Leatherneck. Oh, Leatherneck groans. I don't want to be a nursemaid to no greenhorn. Language, Leatherneck, language. You shoot Leatherneck a dirty look. You're not sure you're thrilled about being partnered with this crude dude either. Leatherneck is a crude dude. That is true. Zapper may be green, Duke says in defense of you. But he just might be the most important spoke in this wheel. He's the only one here who knows enough about electronics to short-circuit Cobra's plot. You know, isn't it nice to have a first sergeant that is so supportive? Isn't he nice? Hello, Kurt. Nice to see you. Didn't see you come in. Yes, you made it to another live feed. So now we have to turn to page 50. I know certain of you are very keen on page 8, but page 8 is not an option, folks. Not at least not yet. Tell you what, if we never get to page 8 in this, I'll read page 8 to you, but for now we got to go to page 50. 50, 50, 50. Here we go. In that case, says Leatherneck, I'll guard him with my life. See, Leatherneck, quite a nice fellow, too. Think of it this way, Duke tells him, you guys will have plenty to talk about since you're both from Nebraska. So that's why we're from Nebraska. Leatherneck's face brightens. You're a Cornhusker, too. What town? Orchard, you reply. What about you? Just south from you, from Stromsburg, Leatherneck answers. So, some Nebraska trivia there. Duke interrupts, saying, you guys can reminisce later. He unfolds a map of the coastline and details the mission. We want to sneak into the jungle undetected by Cobra, so I'm sending only 2 Sky Strikers in. Because, 3 Sky Strikers might be spotted. I want a 3rd Sky Striker to buzz the oil rig to create a diversion, so the first two strikers can get through unnoticed. Where do we set the strikers down? Asked Lowlight. Duke shows you pictures taken from the air. Aerial Recon sent us these photos of the area. You'll notice that there's what looks like an abandoned runway right here. Convenient abandoned runway. Yes, these are my Professor Grandpa glasses. Transform into old Southern lawyer. I don't know, Lowlight says. It could be a trap. That's a risk we'll have to take, says Duke. What kind of diversion do you want from the 3rd Sky Striker, you ask? I simply need the Sky Striker to be visible, Duke tells you. The danger is being visible. Is that being visible means you probably draw a Cobra fire. Then again, maybe Cobra won't want to blow their cover, and they'll stay hidden. It's a gamble. Duke looks over his team. Any volunteers to go in the 3rd Sky Striker? It's probably the riskiest part of the plan. What do you do? It sounds pretty scary to you, but then you knew you'd face danger when you joined the G.I. Joe team. Still, maybe you're too inexperienced to handle this. It's up to you. Okay, we have choices. Everybody ready? Everybody ready to type? So you can either buzz the oil rig and draw Cobra's attention, page 24, or land on the abandoned runway with the other Sky Striker, page 12. So buzz the tower, page 24, land on the runway, page 12. 24 or 12. 24, buzz the oil rig. 12, land on the runway. Okay, so we got some 12s. We got a few 24s. Oh, looks like 12 is winning. We got a few more 24s, but we got a lot of 12s. I think 12 won that. Darius, the 24 would be full Maverick. I might have chosen 24 because it sounds quite exciting, but hey, apparently we're playing it safe. People want to play it safe tonight, so we're going to go with 12. All right. So we're going to go with 12, page 12. 12. Here we go. Oop, passed it. There we go. Pulling Leatherneck aside, you say, look, I don't know about you, but I'd feel kind of silly buzzing around that rig if Cobra Electronics Center if Cobra's Electronics Center is hidden somewhere in the jungle. Fine with me, Zap. Leatherneck called you Zap. There's a different guy called Zap. We're Zapper. Leatherneck replies, I feel more at home in the jungle anyway. The two of you tell Duke that you'd rather search the inland area for Cobra's base. He agrees that your electronics know-how would be best put to use that way. Yes, because there are tons of electronics in the jungle, right? That's how you need to put your electronics know-how to use. You climb into the cockpit of the Sky Striker and radio Duke that you're set for launch. Not lunch, launch. Sitting behind you, Leatherneck says, Zap. He calls you Zap again. He can't call you Zap. They've already got a guy named Zap. For a Marine, I'm doing a lot of time on the water and in the air. Well, for a Marine, it shouldn't be too surprising to do some time in the water. Anyway, you turn around and reply, "Relax, buddy. You'll be getting your land legs as soon as we sit this baby down on the runway." Okay. The flight coordinator waves his signal flag, so you rev the mighty engines of the Sky Striker, barely able to keep it from soaring down the runway. Once the other two Sky Strikers are set, the coordinator motions you to take off. The powerful jet engines at full throttle pin Leatherneck and you in your seats. Seconds later, the Sky Striker zooms off the flight deck and over the sea. Page 13. As soon as the other Sky Strikers take off, the three jets fly in formation toward the coast. Duke is flying solo to coordinate the mission. He signals you to head for the mountains. As you leave the billowy jet exhaust behind you, Duke signals the last Sky Striker to peel off and buzz the oil rig. Soon Duke is flying right next to you, and together you soar over the sandy shoreline. Over the intercom, you hear Duke order, "Zapper, let's stay close to the treetops to keep out of Cobra's radar." "Affirmative," you reply as you push down on the control stick. Seconds later, you are skimming the tops of the mainland's tall trees. "Hey, aren't we cutting this kind of close?" yells Leatherneck from the rear. "I mean, I'm no botanist, but I'd guess we're doing a good job of pruning these trees." Laughing, yes, because that was a hilarious joke. Laughing, you tell Leatherneck, "The lower we go, the harder it'll be for Cobra to pick us up on their radar." "In that case, Zap," says Leatherneck. Okay, Leatherneck has decided to shorten our code name to Zap. Of course, having no respect for the actual Zap. "Drop her down and keep pruning." You fly directly behind Duke, skirting the treetops. As you zoom over the small mountain range, Duke says, "The abandoned airship is dead ahead." Page 60. Page 60. 60. All right. As you approach the landing area, Leatherneck says, "That strip looks awfully short, Zap." "Maybe that's why it's abandoned," you reply. Following Duke, you clear the mountain range and dive down. "Zapper," Duke orders. See, Zapper, Duke will call you Zapper. "Follow me. Let's pass over this place once and take a closer look." With ear-shattering speed, you and Duke zoom the Sky Strikers over the strip. "What do you think?" you radio to Duke. "I don't like the looks of it," Duke says. "Do you see those fuel tanks?" "Affirmative, sir," you reply. "What the heck are fuel tanks doing on an abandoned runway? Do you think they're just left from years ago?" "Not those tanks," replies Duke. "They are specially designed to transport Cobra's new disposable fuel cells." "What should we do, sir?" you asked. Just to be on the safe side, one of us should make a very low pass over the strip and check them out." "Check them out?" Leatherneck asks. "Tanks," you answer. "You're welcome," Leatherneck. "Tanks, you're welcome." Yeah, they went there. Page 84. I'm jumping around a lot. Okay, 84. Oh, and at the bottom of this page, we have another choice. Oh, hey, the SEO Toy Review. Nice to see you. Hello, more Cobra Convergence people with SEO Toy Review. SEO Toy Review did a review of Televiper, so make sure you check out SEO Toy Review's video. Okay, page 84, and we have some choices at the bottom of this page. Hey, we're not dead yet. That's good. Very funny, you reply dryly as you steer your Sky Striker in a wide circle. "Sir, shouldn't we make an attempt to touch down while the other Sky Striker is still causing a diversion at the rig?" you asked. "Good thinking, Zapper," says Duke. "One jet should patrol the sky to keep an eye out for Cobras while the other jet swoops down into the landing strip. Do you want to scout or go down?" "Let me check with my partner," you tell Duke. "Well, big guy, what do you want to do?" you ask Leatherneck. "First of all," he answers, "what I don't want to do is spend the rest of my days flying around up here just waiting for Cobra to discover us." "I feel the same way," you reply. "So should we volunteer to fly over the strip again or stay up here and let Duke do the dirty work?" "You have the controls," Leatherneck says. "You make the call." "It's decision time, Zapper. What do you do?" So the options are fly over the strip, that's page 36, or stay up in the clouds, page 54. 36 is fly over the strip. 54 is stay up in the clouds. 36 or 54. 36 or 54. Make your selections now. Oh, we got some 36s. We got a lot of 36s. Oh my goodness, we got so many 36s that, okay, yeah. 36 wins. At this point, 54 would not be able to catch up. So 36, that's a clear win for 36. You guys want to fly over that strip. Let's do it. Page 36. 36. Alec Tuttles really wants page 8. So does Delvis. We have multiple votes for page 8. All right. 36. Not wasting another minute, you radioed Duke saying, "Sir, I think Leatherneck and I would feel a little more comfortable closer to the ground, so we'll swoop down for a closer look." "That's an affirmative," Duke responds. "I'll keep my eye on your tail, even if there's if there's any trouble. You make one final circle to get the Sky Striker in position to swoop down. Then you say, 'Well, here goes.' With increasing speed, you direct your Sky Striker to make a pass over only a few feet from the surface of the runway." "Hey, look at that," Leatherneck shouts above the roar of the jet. Looking down, you see the runway is coming to life. From hidden and camouflaged bunkers, Cobras are emerging and aiming what appear to be rockets at your Sky Striker. "Let's split this scene," Leatherneck pleads. Pulling back the joystick, you put the Sky Striker into a steep climb. Suddenly, a series of explosions rocks your jet. Where the explosions are rocking the jet. We're under attack. That's just so you guys, can get in the mood. Page 37. We're not dead yet, though. We're not dead yet. We're darn close to being dead, but we're not dead yet. "We're hit," Leatherneck yells. Glancing down at your control panel, you say, "Nothing bad on the screens. They didn't hit anything important." Hearing some more explosions, you look down at the ground. You see the Cobra bunkers are in flames. Duke's voice comes over the intercom. "Good thing I decided to ride shotgun. We really surprised those guys." Making one more pass over the area, you see the remains of Cobra's rocket bunkers and Cobras fleeing into the jungle for cover. As you fly alongside Duke, your jets are soon joined by the third Sky Striker containing Roadblock and Lowlight. "That oil rig was nothing but a plain old rig," Roadblock says over the radio. "We figured it'd be more fun linking up with you guys." As the three Sky Strikers clear another mountain range, Duke spots an alternative airstrip. After making a few flight passes to make sure it's safe, the three jets land. Page 38. Oh, we're going to have more choices at the bottom of this page. You guys ready? Hey, we've done pretty good. We've done pretty good. We haven't died yet. Good job, guys. Good job. Once you've landed, your team heads out into the jungle, hoping to uncover the hidden Cobra base of operations. Darkness covers the jungle, so Lowlight, with his great night vision, takes the point. He leads the team into a small clearing. As Lowlight decides which way to go, Roadblock drifts away from the others. Soon he returns and says, "I found something very interesting back there." He opens his jungle jacket and takes out a large mango. "This will go great in a fruit salad," he said. Yeah, okay. With a disgusted look, Duke begins to turn away. Roadblock adds, "Oh, and by the way, right next to the mango tree, I found an elevator." Mango trees don't normally have elevators. Everyone follows Roadblock to a small wooden shack. Inside, you stare into the elevator. Somebody has to see where it goes. You probably should have reported the elevator before the mango. Do you volunteer to ride down the elevator, or do you stay with the rest of the G.I. Joe team? So, here are your options. Ride down the elevator, page 26, or stay with the team, page 66. 26, ride down the elevator. Stay with the team, 66. 66, stay with the team. 26, ride down the elevator. So type your options in now, 26 or 66. Let's see, we got some 26s and that's pretty even. That's very even. Oh man, that's awfully even. I think 26 may be slightly edging out 66, but not by very much. We got a couple more 26 votes there at the end, so yeah, all right. I'm going with 26, but that was a close one. I got a couple more 66s in, but man, now that we got more 66s in, that's SEO Tour Review says 26 is a death trap. I'm not sure I can choose. I need a tiebreaker. Green Yeti. Okay, Green Yeti chose 26. Green Yeti is the tiebreaker. Sorry, guys, I just couldn't tell which one actually won. That was very close. Very close. So, and Leah likes death traps, so let's try it. Page 26. 26. All right. And now, if we die in page 26, all the 66 people can attack the 26 people. Gaz points out that 2 plus 6 is 8. That's a fact. 26. I don't mind taking a little ride in an elevator, you tell Duke. In fact, it might be quite exciting. Okay, Zapper says Duke, but remember, if it leads to Cobra's command post, come right back up, and we'll plan the attack together. Well, what else is it going to lead to? You think it's going to lead to, like, the ladies' department? Is it an elevator in J.C. Penney? No, it's an elevator hidden in a mango tree. Where else is it going to go? Before entering the elevator, you make a quick survey of your electronic equipment. Duke hands you a small pistol and says, keep this under your shirt. If Cobra catches you, they'll surely take away your rifle. They'll search you and find the pistol, too. Come on, man. Good hunting, says Leatherneck, but save some of the fun stuff for me. Leatherneck wants the fun stuff. You push down the button and the elevator doors slowly close. A few seconds delay, it begins to descend. So there's no security on this elevator. It's just, it's like an elevator in a hotel. You just push the button and it goes down. Great security, Cobra. So anyway, we have to turn to page 69. 69. 69, dudes. Here we go. 69. 69. The elevator is dimly lit by a small bulb. You tuck the pistol under your shirt and mentally prepare for what awaits you. As closely as you can determine, you've already dropped about 60 feet. Since you have no way of knowing how far down the shaft goes, you point your rifle at the door, ready for action. With an unexpected lurch, the elevator comes to a halt. The doors don't open. Maybe they're stuck, you quietly mumble. The doors are not stuck, you idiot, a strange voice cackles over a small speaker. You and your merry band of men have been under my surveillance since you landed. Let me out of here, you demand. I will shortly, says the voice. But Cobra Commander is a little too busy for guests. I'm afraid you'll have to be carried out of their feet first. Quickly, as if the cable were cut, the elevator drops. As you plummet, you hope your teammates have more success, because for you, this mission has come to the end. The end. You 66 people apparently had the right choice. Now, so we died, but I have to say we did pretty good. We stayed alive a lot longer than last time. So, that's, I'm going to count that as a win. It's not a win. It's a total loss because we're dead, but we survived a little longer. Okay, everybody's clamoring for page 8. We didn't even see any of the illustrations. Hold on a second. All right, well, hang on a second. All right. Recondo is really checking out that dude's butt there. I mean, he's getting a good look at it. He's got a lot of admiration. He's like, he must work out. Let's see. What's some... Okay. Somebody explain to me what's happening in this... What's happening here? Somebody is like pushing Serpentor's knees. What's going on? Okay, so let's... All right, I'll read page 8. I don't think very much happens on page 8, but everybody's talking about page 8, so here we go. Page 8 says, each one of those bubble-like enclosures houses its own antenna, you tell Deep Six. So what, Deep Six says, I've got cable TV at home and I don't need an antenna. Not that kind of antenna, Ace. These are transmitting and receiving dishes. From what I know of electronics, I bet my life the real Cobra Communications Command Center has to be right here on this rig and very close to these bubbles. It's probably somewhere off that hallway we just came through, observes Deep Six. Let's get back up there and try to find it. You run back down the glass hallway and take the elevator up. Another elevator. This one goes up, though. Now what? Suddenly you hear a humming sound coming from one of the rooms off the hallway. Staying close to the wall, you make your way to the door and push it open ever so slightly. Here it is, you whisper to Deep Six. Look at all those computers. They have great stuff in here. That great stuff is there to help Cobra rule the world, Deep Six reminds you. There are only a few guards, so let's see what we can do about getting rid of them. I don't think that's a good... Your sentence trails off when you realize you're talking to yourself. Deep Six has impetuously charged into the room and is waving his gun at the guards. And that's it. That's page 8. There, you have page 8. So anyway, so that's the book, and we're down to like the last 3 minutes. I'm giving you guys an extra 10 minutes because I started 10 minutes late. So thanks for sticking around. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I don't know why people are being timed out, so I will look at that later. So yeah, okay. I don't know what's being said, but if there's anything being said inappropriate, don't do that. We haven't had a lot of trouble in the live chat for a while, and I'd like to not have that. So anyway, so I hope you enjoyed the read, and I hope everybody enjoyed the live stream. We had a nice talk about the Snake Eyes movie, some news about that. It was nice to see everybody. Nice to see Brandon Knight, and I think it was fun to have a read. So, yeah, when it comes down to it, the 66 people apparently were right. The 26 folks, it just didn't work out. So, anyway, yeah, let's everybody calm down a little bit in the live chat. So, yeah, this is probably a good time to say goodnight, folks. I've got more work to do on Cobra Convergence, and I've got a very busy work week this week, so I've got a lot to do. So, anyway, thanks everyone for stopping by. We will do it again next week, and I don't know. I'll see if I can find something else fun to do. I mean, these are nice, but maybe we do something different next time. I'll come up with something. Anyway, so that's all. Good night, everyone. See you next week, and I will push this little button here that turns this thing off. Bye-bye.